Hi guys, welcome back to Orange Hedgehog, where we talk all things surface pattern design. When a company licenses a design from you, more often than not, all they need is a high-resolution tile of that pattern in PNG or JPEG or whatever format they require. Occasionally, though, they will require an editable or a live file, whether it's in Photoshop or Illustrator. And in this video, I'm going to show you what exactly they mean by that and what you should include as a professional designer in your deliverables. In this tutorial, I'll be working in Photoshop, but if you want to see this process in Illustrator, I also have a video for that and I'll link to it in the description box below. So this is my Photoshop file with my original design elements. I have 4 here, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is make a new file. I'm going to set the dimensions 20 by 20 centimeters, 300 dpi resolution. I'm going to type I on my keyboard to bring up the eyedropper tool and select the color of my background. Come back to my new file, type G on my keyboard to bring up the bucket fill tool and make the new background. Lock this layer in place. Now I'm going to hold down Shift, select all of the design elements and drag them over to the new file. Great, now for the fun part, let's design a simple little scatter pattern. I'm going to come over to View, Pattern Preview, and this lets us see what the pattern will look like once we arrange it. Holding down Option on my keyboard, I'm just going to drag out elements one by one and arrange them on my artboard, making sure they're dispersed evenly, nothing is too clumped together. Always zooming in and out just to see that the overall visual balance is working. Okay, so this is ready. I'm going to leave it there and just turn off my pattern preview. So now you can see that I have 2 files, one with my design elements and another one with the pattern tile. First thing I'm going to do is export my pattern tile as a JPEG. I'm going to call it pattern tile and close that now. Make sure it's saved. And now these guys right here, I'm going to export all of them as individual elements in PNG format. So this is also going to go onto my desktop. I'm going to arrange them in a new folder, label design elements. And last but not least, I just need to make a color palette for this design. I'm going to make a new layer, fill it with white, and I'm just going to turn off the white for a second. Let's type I to bring up the eyedropper tool, select the color of the background, bring the white back. Let's draw a square. That's color number 1. Okay, holding down Option and Shift, I'm going to make a few more color squares for my color palette. I'm going to turn off my white background for a second and sample the colors from my artwork to fill the squares. I can now turn the white back on and start to add text. This is where we're going to put all the information for the recipe of our color. We're going to have the hex code, the RGB and CMYK information. The reason why we're doing this is when we're giving this design to our client, they need to know all these codes for which colors we've used. If they send this over to printers abroad and they have different calibrations of their screens or printers, each printer has a different color setting. They need to have these color recipes to be able to reproduce them on products accurately. When I double click into the color square there, I bring up this color information panel and I can see this is my hex code. I'm just going to type Command C to make a copy of this. And then this is my RGB values and this is the CMYK. So I can either screenshot this whole thing or just make a quick note of them. When I'm ready, I'm going to type Command V to paste the hex code information and then just enter the RGB and CMYK stuff. I really hope you guys are finding this tutorial useful. Let me know in the comments. This is still a very new channel and I really cherish each sub, like and share. Now I'm going to Option and drag a copy of this text and repeat the process for all of my colors. Again, Command C to copy the hex code, make a note of the RGB and CMYK values, rinse and repeat for all the rest of the colors. Great, now my color palette is ready. Holding down Shift, I'm going to select all of the text layers and the squares, including the white background, and type Command E to merge them into one single layer. I'm going to label it Color Palette, right-click on it, and export it in JPG format. Actually, I don't need that file to be quite so large. I'm going to reduce the size by half and export it onto my desktop as well. If I bring you guys over to my desktop, you'll be able to see that I have a few things here. This is my pattern tile file, the one we've just designed together. This one contains the design elements. This is my color palette. This is the folder with all of the design elements we've exported in PNG format. And this is the exported pattern tile. So now I'm just going to make a new folder. I will put all of those there, right-click on it, and compress. And this compressed folder is what I'll be sending over to my client as my deliverables.